game time. Get hyped up, get ready.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I see you, boy. Look, I'm standing up today, so I'm trying to represent today. I'm fidgety. I'm standing.
You looking good, as always. Great Sunday, man. Shoot,
I
that's how we do
appreciate
it.
you, brother. I appreciate you, brother. Another day, another chance to get out here and do what it is that we do. Welcome to the I almost said the lab because I saw a tall boy there, but welcome to Team No Sleep, that dog.
We in the lab, though. That's all good. We in the lab. We.
Hey, as little as I slept this past couple of nights, trying to get everything right, trying to get the standing desk set up, trying to get everything dialed in properly. I feel like I don't know where I'm at. Shouts out to my boy Tall Boy. I see him in the building. We see you, boy. I know you busy. He's actually preparing for a show that he's doing. He's going to have Miss Shirley Murdoch.
Okay.
He's producing a show on Priscilla Watley's Facebook page coming up. I believe it's Tuesday, and we'll be talking with Miss Shirley Murdoch. So check that out.
Shout out, shout out, Top Boy. Good guy. Congratulations, my man.
Keely Humphreys is in the building. I got to stand up straight. She ready to get verklempt. Look, I was chatting with her last night. Late last night. Oh, my gosh. But we were talking and she was saying something. And then I responded back with, I forgot what I said in particular. But she dropped this long syllable word on me. And I was like, what in the world? Did I do something wrong? And then I looked it up and I was definitely humbled by the statement. So I appreciate that. Thank you. Definitely.
Shit you with that buzzword. That's all good. Shit you with that buzzword.
I had to Google that right quick and be like, what did she just say about me? No.
All good, man.
Brother, we got a lot of things going on. Again, the social impact of sports. We're not just talking about the scores. We're not just talking about the things that you read front page ESPN. We're talking about the stuff behind the scenes. So where you want to start today, brother? I know we got a plethora of things on the agenda today, but I tell you what, I know where I want to start. I'm going to start with this one in particular because it involves the man who my daughter is named after. Michael Jordan is going to present the late, great Kobe Bryant into the Hall of Fame. When is that? On May 15th. My daughter is named Jordan. I think I've told you this story, right?
Yeah.
I named her after.
My daughter's named Jordan, too. My daughter's named Jordan,
is that
too.
Right?
Spelled a little different. Yeah. So my youngest is named Jordan as well, so absolutely.
That's cool. I named her after the greatest of all time. So if it was a boy or a girl, the first child's name is going to be named Jordan. So talk to me about this, man. It's bittersweet. It's bittersweet. We miss Kobe. We miss Kobe. But
and the fact I live in Southern California, so we really, Kobe is it. He's the epitome of everything you want in an athlete, everything you want in a championship organization, everything you want to represent a championship organization as far as basketball. And outside of basketball, man, he was just growing to become a great a philanthropist in movies, entertainer, really giving back to the community, investing in his daughters, showing us how to, showing us live on TV how to interact with our daughters and help them grow. Just, man, an overall idol in our community, man, in the Black community overall, and just really in particular in LA. It's like you said, real bittersweet, man. I'm really proud of his family. Vanessa and his daughter just got accepted into USC. His oldest daughter.
Yes.
Vanessa's holding it down as she should for the rest of the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, that just whole situation, man. That's the one that gets you on the throat. Him and Nipsey. I mean, as a recent, those guys, man, they really get you on the throat. DMX and all, and Black Robbers too. All rest in peace.
Yeah,
those guys get you on the throat. But I mean, just Kobe, man, just embodied. I guess what we want, man. That Mamba mentality is something that's just contagious in that competitive nature. We love him for it, man. I wish, I wish all the best, man. And I'm glad Michael Jordan, the greatest of all time, is going to honor him by presenting them in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and it just makes sense. It just makes sense, right? Because they fed off of each other, they learned from each other, they studied each other, right? Mm-hmm. Kobe came in and says, I'm trying to be like Mike, but then after he said that, he said, I'm trying to be me, and I'm going to be the one. And they were just that ultimate personification of what just never stop and go to and win. So That's going to be an emotional experience for everyone. We're going to get the crying meme from Jordan. That is what we get from him. But bless him for that. But it's I don't know who else is going into the hall this particular year.
There's a list of Kobe was obviously the top of the list. Yeah. That everybody's that I paid attention to mostly, rightfully so, should be in there, no doubt about it. Just man, it's just that's just that whole thing is just like you said, man. It's bittersweet. I mean, I don't, you kind of like, man, I don't. It's almost he's one of those situations. I wish he was still here. Don't want to believe that he's gone. And
did you get a chance to see him play?
I got a chance to see him play. I actually almost got a chance to meet him.
Wow.
And it's crazy. I got in the back of I was in a friend of mine, Lance, and Jesse Buss, who works for the Lakers organization. I know both of them pretty good. Me, my wife, and my kids actually got to go down and to the locker room down in the lobby of the Staples Center, which people don't know. It's like it's kind of like a restaurant bar down there where the players kind of hang out afterwards. So we were hanging out there. We met Penny Marshall when she was alive. We rest her soul in peace.
Okay.
We met a couple other stars.
Oh, you old school. What you know about Penny Marshall? Man. Yeah, Laverne and Shirley.
Laverne and Shirley, man. And we got the chance to meet. Gasol. My brother-in-law was there. We got to meet Paul Gasol. We met Lamar Odom. Kobe, for some reason, I don't know. I forgot. I think they lost the game. He was so upset he didn't want to come out. Okay. He didn't want to come out. So I didn't get a chance to meet him. At least I was in the same area and got a chance to watch him. But I never really got a chance to meet him one-on-one. I wish I would have got to. But, man, I mean, I've seen so much footage on the man.
Yeah.
I know we watched him grow. I mean, we watched him come in the league when he was, 17, 18 years old.
Yep.
And we watched him grow all the way to mature to this man. I think my fondest memory of him, and it's the last one on the court, man, when he hit that 60 against Utah.
Yeah.
Man, he just kept shooting, man. And that's the way to go out. His very last game, he went out like a champ.
Yeah.
Like like everybody wants to go out that way. If I'm going out of my last day at work, I want to be able to make the biggest, baddest presentation I ever made in my life where everybody stands up and give me a standing ovation. That brother went out with a standing ovation doing this thing. So
that's true.
It's good. It's good, man. He's a good dude. I mean, from what I understand, he was a really, really good dude.
Yeah. Rest his soul, rest everyone's soul who was on that helicopter, a tragic event, but he's definitely going to get these flowers by getting put in the Hall of Fame first go round and rightfully deserved. So I'm going to be tuning into it because I think I'm sure they're going to do something special for Kobe just because it is him. And then the fact that we got Michael talking. So that's going to be a special event. Let's stick with basketball, brother. Oh, what you got? Go ahead.
Before you change that, how do you feel about them changing the logo? There's always been buzz about changing the logo to Kobe over Jerry West.
Jerry West?
Before it was, they were saying Michael, but then the Michael, that kind of dispelled. And then they've always said maybe possibly Kobe being the new logo. What do you think about that? You think that is something they should entertain, or
look, we've got
the NBA doesn't need a rebrand?
No, look, we got a lot of conversations right now, specifically around trying to do right by oppressed people outside, not just sports, right? We got conversations about reparations right now. So, right, I mean that's crazy, right? So that's a great thing that's happening. So, and the reason I say that and I bring that up is I don't put it past the fact that someone needs to have that conversation. I don't put it past Adam Silver, who is a great spokesman for the league. Right, he seems to really listen to the players, listens to the folks that matter, the fans, the players, and things of that nature, and really tries to model the way that the NBA is going. So, I mean, long story short, it would only be Kobe. There wouldn't be anyone else at this particular point. Right? If we, God forbid, if we had lost Michael, then that would have probably happened. But there is more of a positive memory and more of a positive reaction to Kobe Bryant, and I think anyone else who is no longer with us who could fill that void and probably be the new logo. But you don't know, right? You don't know.
Yeah.
Not sure if that would really do anything, right? Do we really need the logo change?
I think it should be more of an anniversary thing. I like the logo the way it is, and it's been a tradition. It's been something that's there. But I do believe they can change it for certain things. To 24th anniversary or 5-year anniversary death of Kobe. Maybe they put the logo
check this.
Something like that.
I like what MLB does on Jackie Robinson Day. Everyone wears 42.
Yeah, exactly.
I could see everyone wearing an 8 and a 24. Now that would be cool, right?
They did it in the All-Star game. They do it. They do it in the All-Star game. But I would like to do it in like you said, a game, a big time game, or or season or something like that, or maybe at least everyone on the Lakers wear 824, however they want to do it. But I do believe, I hope they continue to honor him, honor his legacy and what he did for the game, how he helped transcend the game in his own way. And and to me, I will always be Michael's number one, Kobe's number two. I know LeBron fans say what they want. You know, I'm Michael 1, Kobe 2.
That's it.
LeBron falls in that thresh. That number 3. That number 3.
We could have a whole another show talking about the Mount Rushmore, of sports and NBA. But maybe we'll hold that off until next time. But
absolutely.
Still, like I was saying, still staying in basketball. This dude, Stephen Curry. I'm not sure if you've met him, but Steph Curry is showing his tail. And he is hitting.
Y'all must have forgot. Y'all must have forgot.
He not hitting 3-pointers. He hitting 4, 5-pointers because he'll shoot, right from the backcourt. Steph Curry is doing some things, and as you said, Steph is trying to make it.
He's making his name for MVP of the league. And I know the team record may not indicate it, but what he is doing is unbelievable on the court. And anybody's got a chance to watch him. I know a lot of people watched him yesterday. Dude is killing it. He is just straight killing it.
Yeah. He's in, and we'll use the Michael Jordan analogy. He's in rare air, right? 30 points or more in the last 10 straight games. That's someone needs to stand up and talk about that. And
oh man, the dude is on another level right now the way he's shooting the ball. But I'm gonna take it even further than that. Yeah. I'm going to ask you a question, a good question.
Oh, man. Oh, you flipping the script on me today. I'm not even ready.
Well, in the last one, Steph's been in the league for like last 10 years, 10 or 12 years?
Yeah.
12 years. So since Steph has been in the league between him and LeBron, who has transcended the game more? In styles of play and influence on the youth?
No, it's LeBron. You can't
really.
You can't doubt that. Yes, it is.
Oh,
LeBron.
I can. We can discuss. And the reason I'm going to Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm gonna let you go. You brought it up.
I think Steph has transcended the game because Steph has made the 3 relevant from all the way from the NBA. I mean, super relevant. Like we'd rather take a 3 than shoot a dunk. Mm-hmm. Steph has made the game transited from not only there to college to high school to where, hey, Steph Curry, I'm shooting from the 3. Nobody's screaming LeBron when he's on the basketball court running down the court, raining the 3. Now. LeBron has had an impact because they've labeled him the king and what he's done and the championships and everything he's done and what's that. But the impact on the game, I believe Steph has had more of an impact. The way his style of play has influenced more people going down.
Wow. I hear your argument. And I understand that, but, and I know there was even conversation of maybe pushing the 3-point line back because Steph was just firing them off like it was just,
not because of LeBron.
Yeah, because it was nothing, right? But I guess so. The reason that I say LeBron, it's almost the not just an athlete kind of moniker, right? So just because LeBron is definitely more vocal when it comes to issues, plus around not necessarily even around the game, but just from a societal perspective.
Yeah. Yes.
But let me pay attention to your question because your question was really specifically focused on the game. And they're both knocking down all the past records. They're both dominating at their positions. They both have championships with their team, with their respective teams. Correct. I don't know, man. I still think that LeBron comes in. He's just got a different air about him when he hits the floor. Right. He goes through the ritual with the chalk in the air. I know Steph has his horse that he plays around the rim, and that's just knocking down shots like it's nobody's business before every game, and he does his little hand-eye coordination with the ball. But man, I still got to say that LeBron James has been more of a outwardly visible spokesperson for the game itself. Now, a true just can run the court and do all kinds of can do literally everything. I do believe, that is Steph. LeBron is kind of in a pigeonhole, right? He can run you over like a freight train. He can do a lot of crying too, right? He's not the greatest at defense, but I don't know, man. I still got to say it's a 1 and 2, and I don't even know if it's really that close.
I would give you an edge because I believe LeBron is the greatest athlete to ever play on basketball. Mm-hmm. not the greatest basketball player, but he's the greatest athlete to ever play basketball.
Yeah.
He is. You will not find another man that is as tall as he is, as fast as he is, can jump as far as he is, can do the things that he can do. Yeah. I believe he's probably the greatest athlete to ever play football. But I think on impacting the game and influencing the youth and the way it's going down, I think Steph has had a much bigger influence on the game, the way the kids are playing the game nowadays, than LeBron has. LeBron still has that old school flavor. You know, he'll still take you down to the hole, he cross you over, and he'll dunk. Yeah. Kids don't even dunk. They ain't worried about dunking no more. They want to hit them threes. They want to put them threes on, and I mean,
which is crazy because you wanted it 2 years ago, right? You wanted it to be Zion, right? Zion was supposed to be kind of the next coming, and then he got hurt, and now he's still dominant, but he's dominant down in the paint. I see him running the point, right? I mean, that's a big fella running the point, but I still keep thinking about Steph's first shoes, though. His shoes didn't.
Those wasn't no hit. Yeah, you right there.
Yeah, he loses a point on them shoes. They didn't work.
But are we going to start deducting points? LeBron's hair. We're going to have to cut. We're going to chop LeBron's. That fade got.
He's got one of these.
He need to go all the. He need to go all the way.
He do have that Deacon Jones look. He do have that Deacon Jones look.
But to your point though, outside the game, LeBron is the GOAT. Yeah. I think beyond all, he's doing so much outside the game. To transcend himself into not only a businessman, a person of the community, starting schools, paying kids tuition, and the whole nine.
Right, that's huge.
And I'm sure other players do it.
And look, I'm not a LeBron James. Look, I don't have any gear. I'm not trying to, but I'm just saying.
No, but I hear you though. Yeah. And it was funny. It was funny because me and my son went to the championship game, the Warriors game 2. Yeah. At Golden State. Me and my son happened to be sitting some pretty good seats. We got. And then in front of us were teachers that LeBron flew in for the game.
Wow.
He flew some teachers from Akron to come to the game. And they were talking about it. And they were just like, this is before he had his school. She was like, I don't think you guys understand. Every kid that graduates from our elementary school, if they decide to pursue college, he pays for it. And I was like, are you serious? She was like, yes. He flew all this whole row of teachers out there to the game. I was bugging out. I was like, man, that's crazy. That he would do that, athletes nowadays don't do that. Fly your teachers, you might fly your friends, your homeboys, your partners, your relatives. He flew the teachers from that elementary school to the game. That's so LeBron is that's cool, man. I mean, I think outside the game, the dude is. I would love to just meet with him and chat with him, just see everything he's going on. I want to be in the barbershop. The little barbershop that they have on the show. I want to be in the barbershop. Chopping it up with him.
Oh, look, let's get focused right now because that's really something that I've been trying to do for a long time. Really, just have kind of that convergence of men talking about real topics, right? I used to do this when I was in college, right? We would have a circle of folks, and we would open up the Bible, we would open up the Quran, we would open up every spiritual book, and we would just sit around and debate and talk and just. Didn't always have to go to the club, right? We would just sit around in the living room and talk about things like that. It get heated sometimes, but we'd leave and everyone would hug and it would be all love. Those are the conversations that are missing, right? And that's really one of the reasons that I'm really happy about what we're doing here. Because again, we're going so much deeper to just talking about scores and shoe deals and things like that. We're talking about why it's relevant. The social impact of sports. So I'm with you on that, and don't be surprised if I don't make some overlays and create a new show and we start talking about some things like that.
Put them current topics on and let's get busy with what's going on. That's what I'm saying in the world. But I mean, and I know, and I don't want to shame any other athlete. I'm sorry. I know LeBron does this thing and his is more public. I know Curry does this thing. I know all the other athletes do their own personal thing as far as what they're giving back to the community and everything. But I mean, man, Michael was the guy, and LeBron outside of basketball has definitely passed Michael because of all the things he does outside for the community, the things he's involved with, at least that we know about. I don't know if Michael's all involved. Michael kind of keeps us on the hush-hush. Yeah. He's not in the public eye with his. But LeBron stuff that's in the public eye, man, you can't do nothing but give that man kudos, man.
And it's a different time. It's a different game right now too. So I'm looking at these comments coming in. Tall boy, talk to us, brother. You sending some things that I'm not sure are. I think
that's the list. That's the list that's on the Hall of Fame. He sent in the names.
Okay, brother. Hall of Fame. Now, you can't just assume that I know what you're talking about. I'm not going to just put you on the screen with these kinds of things. So let's go ahead and talk about this. So Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, that's a bad man too. KG, I
Both.
love Kevin
I love
Garnett.
KG.
He said,
And Duncan, Mr. Fundamental. Yep. Tamika
okay,
Catchings, Reddy Transvanovich, Eddie Sutton, all great. Two great coaches, a great WNBA player.
okay,
Okay.
all right.
FIBA,
So FIBA
yeah,
coach,
international basketball.
love it, love it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a great stat right here. Longtime Baylor women's coach Kim Mulkey, 1,000-game winner. Barbara Stevens of Bentley. Okay, I like that.
Yeah. And all those people rightfully so deserve to be in there, man. No, Wilt. Oh, I thought Wilt was already in.
Wilt should be in. Come on now. We need to do some research on that. I would have sworn. Why is Wilt Chamberlain not in the Hall already? Hold up. Wait a minute.
Yeah, Wilt should be in the Hall of Fame. If he's not, he better be going.
we got some things to talk about if he's not. Hall of Fame induction 1979. Yeah, he's in. Yeah, he went in 1979. So
yeah, Wilt got to be. He should have been in the Hall of Fame before he retired. Yeah, they should have gave his roses big time. But no, man, I'm proud of all those people, man. Congratulations for them accomplishing all the goals that they did, and all the barriers some of them broke.
Yeah.
Much kudos, man. NBA, the NBA's doing it, man. They doing some good things. They're doing some good things. Basketball's doing some good things for everybody.
That's true. Let me pivot a little bit, and I want to. So we're talking about sports doing good things, and I kind of want to put hard brakes on the conversation and get focused on some things here. Lot of tragedies still happening in society. A lot of things going on. We're losing a lot of people. We in this advent of having mobile cameras, and this advent of having technology around with us all the time, unfortunately, we knew it was happening. But what's happening now is the common person, the regular citizen, we're seeing it, right? So we're seeing the aftermath of a lot of these things. And I'm not just going to pick one because there's too many, but specifically the Daunte Wright situation in Minnesota, which is just sad for everyone involved. The 20-year-old, I'm sure everyone knows this story. The police officer, he pulled him over at a traffic stop. It got into some agitation amongst both sides. Police officer, she pulled out her gun when she said she meant to grab her taser, and unfortunately shot and killed the young man. Sports is seeing. So let me stop. So again, rest in peace and much respect to the families that are involved. May they find some solace. May they get what they need to continue to move on and never forget. But sports is seeing a lot of these situations and they're making adjustments for it. They're knowing when to continue on with the game. They're knowing when not to continue on with the game, right? They're understanding that there are more relevant things that are going on in the world. And you had sent me the story and said, about MLB and the National Basketball Association stopping the games in Minnesota.
Yep.
I did some more research, and you know what? It was all of them. The Timberwolves, so basketball, baseball, the Twins, the Minnesota Wild, the hockey team, Minnesota United FC, their soccer team. They all said, you know what? We're not playing. We're not playing. There's a lot of agitation. There's a lot of things going on around us. So now's not the time to be focused and playing a game. Let's try to do something to heal.
Yeah, at that time, sports is secondary to everything that's going on in that community. With this young man being killed by the police officer, I think athletes are recognizing. I think one of the athletes, I'm not quite sure if he was on the Timberwolves or not. I just heard a quote that one athlete said, that could have been me. I'm 20 years old. I'm 20 years old. That could have been me driving that car and that officer pulling me over. Yeah. So it's starting to hit home and resonate with those people that participate in sports and outside of sports as well. And at this point, things like that are bigger than sports. Yeah. Especially in that community. I mean, they're still dealing with with the Floyd situation and the trial. They're dealing with that, and all of a sudden this happens again. They're like, when's enough is enough, and what can we do about this? How can they do about it? And I'm happy that the owners support that move. Not
Yes,
just the teams are saying we're not going to play. The
that's
owners are
huge. That's
supporting.
huge.
The
Yeah.
owners, yeah, the owners are supporting that. Like, absolutely, let's postpone the games. Let's do them at another time because this is not the right thing to do in our community right now. We need to mourn the loss of this young man and get to the roots of the cause and find justice in this whole situation. I commend all of them that's doing that. I had the pleasure of visiting Minnesota this summer. It's a beautiful place, man. I
It
mean,
is. It is. I've been there
it's not
myself. Yeah.
yeah, it's not what did you expect. I mean, coming from California, you would think, Minnesota. I don't know what to expect out there. But St. Paul's and Minneapolis are beautiful places, and
Yeah.
it's a very affluent community with a lot of different races.
Hmm.
And for these incidents to kind of happen, man, I can see why these people are uniting together and are united together and protesting and trying to figure out and try to right this wrong. Obviously, it's amazing also that like places like Seattle have sparked up again. Places
Yep.
like Oakland have sparked up marches again.
Yep. Yep.
So has places like I believe Portland has sparked up again as well. So the greater northwest of the states are rallying behind this situation, trying to make sure we get social justice. We get justice for the wrongful killing of these people. So I'm proud that sports is kind of also being a part of that because they're part of the community. So now it's time for them to kind of start to do what's right and see what's going on as
Yeah.
well. So
And I think it speaks volumes to the youth, right? Because
yes,
we're parents, yeah. And look, everyone who's got kids know that half of the time when you talk to your kids, it goes in one ear, goes out the other, or it gets lost in translation. But they are watching and they are listening to these folks that they look up to who are either recording artists, entertainers, sports figures, and things like that. So when those folks, right, that they look up to, that they're wearing the jerseys of the LeBron Jameses and whomever, right? And when those folks stop and say, you know what, there's something bigger than playing this game, but what we need to do is rally around each other and strive and work for peace and work for some type of healing and understanding and correction within the system, such that this type of thing please stops happening. Because I'm look, man, I'm really getting tired. We can go down a whole another lane, but I don't want to. I'm going to keep focused here. But I'm really getting tired of turning on the news. I turn on the news just to find out what the weather is going to be tomorrow. But I am really getting tired of seeing folks, anybody, not just black folks, but particularly black folks. But I'm just tired of seeing anybody that gets into these types of situations. It's no good. It's just no good.
I think we share the same sentiment as far as being tired. I'm even tired of being tired of seeing it.
That's a lyric in one of these new rap kids.
I don't know
I'm tired of being tired.
I'm tired of being tired, man.
Yeah.
But I mean, truly, man. I mean, anybody that's losing their life, unfortunately, in these kind of situations, is just, man, it hits a core in our soul. It hits empathy in our heart, and it mounts fury in my mind.
Yeah.
I get angry, especially like you said when it comes to African Americans dying, because me and you both, and we all have young African American sons.
Yeah,
we have young African American women that could be in that same situation. And these scenarios, we can see these situations that could happen and possibly happen to us or to our family members. So it resonates really, a little bit different. But I don't want to see anyone die.
Yeah.
I don't want to see anyone assaulted wrongfully. There's all that stuff, man. I mean, we have an issue in this country that needs to be addressed with violence, and it hasn't been addressed. It's been masked, and when I mean masked, it's been covered up. It's been pushed to the side. It's been pushed under something. It hasn't been straight on addressed, and we need to start to address these kind of issues that are going on. This young man, Daunte, I just feel bad for his. I was seeing his aunt had that press conference, and the anger, the anger and the madness and the sadness in her heart when she was preaching that, she felt he was murdered, wrongfully murdered. And I'm not judge or jury, but I see where she's saying that. I completely understand. I feel the same way. I'll put it on record. I feel the same way. I think the young man was murdered. I think that officer had plenty of time to make adjustments. She had her hand out for at least several seconds. I saw with the gun pointed. I have peripheral vision. A taser gun is yellow. That gun is brown. I can tell the difference between both of them. And let's be honest with you, from what I understand from the history, he had a warrant, but he had a minor. It was a misdemeanor warrant, so he had no reason to get out the car. If a misdemeanor warrant, you let him go. That means he was failure to appear for a traffic ticket or something small. So it's pretty irrelevant. And no matter what it was, he didn't deserve to lose his life.
Yeah.
No matter what it was.
Nobody does.
Yeah, no one does. Yeah. He doesn't deserve to lose his life over that. If he was trying to get back in the car and run, let him go ahead and go. Catch him where he was going to be at, stripe him, chase him, do whatever y'all going to do like y'all do on the TV shows and catch him and arrest him. And it goes to show you that it's something really bigger in Minnesota, because I also saw a tube about an older Caucasian gentleman that had the officer's arm in the car, drove away in Minnesota.
Wow.
Yeah, he wasn't shot. They detained him. He physically, he was hitting the officer with a hammer, and he took off with the officer's arm in his car in Minnesota. So this is the same community dealing with the same thing. You shoot one person on a misdemeanor pullover, and you let some man take off with an officer assaulting him, and you do nothing, and you pull him over. You arrest him with no deaths or anything like that. So, or it's just, man, it's mind boggling. I don't understand. I can't. And I'm sorry we're going off on a tangent, but I can't understand why a person doesn't like me just because of the color of my skin. My pigmentation is darker than yours. Why you can't judge me on the character of my content or who I am? It's just it's frustrating, man. It's really frustrating, because it's hard for me to understand why you don't like me.
Yeah.
Why is it the point that you feel so threatened that you want to kill me? That just doesn't. That just, man, it's hard for me to digest. It really is, because I don't feel the same. And the reason is because I don't feel the same way.
Right.
I can see a person walking down the street, the opposite color of me. Hey, how you doing?
What's up?
Keep it moving. Yeah, keep it moving. It doesn't even register my mind that I hate you. That doesn't even come cross my mind, or I dislike you in any way. It doesn't cross my mind. So I'm not quite sure where that is, where that all resonates from, man. And it's real frustrating. But I'm glad that the sports are supporting the cause, and they're fighting the fight along with all those common folks down here.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying?
I think we are doing, and I know we are. I know we are doing the right work, right, by just voicing this and having these conversations, because else it would get pent up. It would cause folks ulcers. It would cause folks stress. It would cause folks anxiety. And just having a forum to have these conversations, I think, is healing for everyone that's involved directly and or indirectly, right? Because it touches us in a certain way, and I know it touches other folks, and folks can either chime in in the comments here by themselves and be anonymous and don't have to worry about it. But again, being able to express how they feel. And I think, again, that is a bit of a release. And so I'm proud that at least we're providing context and a forum, non-judgmental forum for folks to have these types of conversations. So I feel you, man, and I'm glad we're talking about this. It's not a tangent, brother. This is healing.
Yeah,
this is healing, and let's keep doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. But man, everybody, please, express how you feel about the situation, because pinning it in is not going to do you any good. I think letting it out, and everything doesn't have to be let out on social media. Man, you can let it out in a room or something like that if you don't want to be judged, but definitely let it on out. Yeah, let that frustration out.
All right, let's pause. Let's take a breath. I wish I had some music that wasn't copyrighted so I could play it and not get a YouTube strike. But
man, rest in peace to my man Black Rob, man. Oh Black Rob and DMX, man.
DMX, we losing everybody. We losing all these legends. Good Lord.
Man, I was listening to 24 Hours to Live, man, on Mace's album when they both appeared on it. I was just like, man, we lost two legends in the game.
I went back and watched the entire verses between him and Snoop when we lost. No, even before when he was still in the hospital, I went back and watched that whole thing. I was laughing more at it because DMX was he put on a couple extra pounds there. So I was more laughing at it than he was just sitting down when Snoop was performing. But
he just sipped a couple. He didn't have a couple of beers. You can tell he got that little beer belly, the beer thing going on. But you know what's crazy? I was just talking to my wife the other day. What was amazing about DMX is he never had a hype man or dancers behind him. Mm-hmm. He performed by himself.
It was just himself
on a stage, himself and a DJ in the background, rocking the crowd.
Yep. He didn't need no Flavor Flav.
Yeah. I don't think people realize how hard that would be to go night after night in front of 25,000 people, and you got them rocking by yourself.
Yeah.
No other extra entertainment, no stopping. I'm going. Everything is just me. And I was like, that guy's energy has to be amazing. His aura around him must be amazing to be around him, because that's impressive alone by itself. I've never seen not too many artists could do that. I know that for a fact.
I was just getting ready to say the only other artist that I think who's doing that, and young cat who's doing it. I don't know if my son Isaiah's watching. He's probably playing games right now. But J. Cole, that's my son's favorite artist right now. And Cole, I've been to one of his shows, and he can do the same thing. He's got his DJ, and he's out there rocking the crowd. But Jay-Z is now too big. Just by himself. He's got pyrotechnics. He's got all this other stuff.
But he has guest artists coming in. I mean, he has other artists coming in, performing and doing this. DMX is just him.
It was just him. I mean, yelling and screaming and barking.
And praying and taking on the emotional roller coaster with himself.
Yeah.
And I don't think people realize how powerful that is, how powerful his voice was as an artist, man. And the way that transcended into sports, because we're about sports. That dude is my era. That's that hype dude. When you ready to get in the mode, you put DMX on, and you like, yo, I'm ready to, I'm ready to go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He gets his moment. And Black Rob was that party dude. He was with Bad Boy. So after we got finished doing the field and we go to the club, Black Rob was the one that's playing in the club, so we could get down with him. So I mean, we lost two, like I said, two giants in the hip hop industry as far as old school is concerned. And I wish their family nothing but the best, and hope that they're strong and they can get through this terrible loss.
Definitely, man. That's 2020, 2021. We need some sunshine in lives. We need some sunshine. Let me ask you something else. I'm gonna switch and go to another sport thing, and we didn't even have this on the agenda, but
okay.
We have a boxing conversation coming up at the end, but. This dude, Jake Paul. This fool, Jake Paul, is out here doing some things. He knocking fools out. He got some ones and twos, right? He got some ones and he knocks out.
He got a right hand. If you let him hit you, I think he can put something on you. But let's be honest, Brian. He ain't fighting. He's not fighting nobody. He fought a basketball player. He fought a basketball player, and he fought an MM guy, which the MM guy is a grappler. He's not a boxer. He tried to box, and he lost. Yeah. And then he fought another YouTuber. I ain't taking nothing away from him. That's 3 wins for him, rightfully so. Because if he was a street fight, he got 3 dubs. You'd be like, oh, he got some hands. But in that realm where he's in, as soon as he gets in the ring with a true professional, I believe the outcome will be different. I don't think the man's gonna win, but. He's doing his thing though. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. I mean, he's getting hits on his YouTube or whatever he's doing. And
him and his brother are huge YouTubers. So
man,
they making 6-7 figures just doing their thing and all that. But now this guy's branched out into stepping into the ring, and I had to bring it up because it's timely, relevant news of the day. And this cat is knocking folks out. I just don't. Okay. Oh, okay.
Keep doing it, man. Hey, I'm all for it, man. I mean, you won't get my money. I'm not spending no money to watch you.
No, I just get the highlights the next day on ESPN and Sports, and I'm not going to pay for it.
But if he continue to knock dudes out, man, do your thing. I mean, I can't knock no one's hustle. But I mean, I'm all good. I just don't. I mean, I see his body at work, and that's what I'm saying. His body at work. He hasn't really fought a true boxer.
It's still pretty light.
Yeah, it's still pretty light. He hasn't fought a true boxer. But I mean, if these fools want to keep stepping in the ring with him, these basketball players and other YouTubers and all that, hey, I tell them to keep knocking them out. Do your thing, keep beating them up. You know, that's their fault. You know, so. But I do believe, man, if in the entertainment world, in the world of like movies, actors, and YouTubers. He probably holding it down though. I don't think too many people want to put. Ain't no too many people want to put no hands on homeboy.
Nobody gonna run up on him when he trying to bum rush the club. Bouncers be like, "Go ahead in, brother."
Right. He got his lane. So
I don't want to be on that poster if you're knocking me down. But we'll see. Again, he hasn't really stepped in with anyone else. And the reason I brought it up because the dude he fought against, Ben Askren. the MMA artist.
And never heard of dude. Yeah.
But he was talking a lot of madness though, right? He was talking a lot of madness, but he was put down in the first round. So,
hey,
go ahead, Jake. Do your thing, boy.
Yeah, man.
Like you said, don't ain't knocking nobody's hustle.
Yeah. That's his hustle, man. Get down. Like I told you, if them rappers or other entertainers want to step in the ring with dude and they get beat down, don't say nothing because dude got some hands for him. He got some hands, so. It's called how you see it, man.
That's true. That's true. You know, let's talk. Let's keep in the boxing realm. Let's keep in the boxing. Now let's talk about some real OGs. Let's talk about some champions who we know can do something, right? We've seen do something.
Man,
these brothers keep talking, right? They keep talking about getting back into it.
I love them both, man. But I do not want to see this fight. Man, this is
no. So let's put some context around this for folks who may not know. Tyson and Holyfield are going back and forth about jumping back into the ring, doing another rematch. The money was right, then the money wasn't right. Then Tyson's folks got into it and said, "Oh no, we not fighting anymore." So woo, back and forth, blah blah. Now they're saying they're not fighting again. Mm-hmm. Tyson is scheduled, however, to fight someone on May 29th. Who that is, we don't know yet. But what the dilemma is right here, should these old cats get back in the ring, hurt themselves just by climbing through the ropes? Could you see? I couldn't even see him climbing up the stairs and getting into the ring without pulling a hammy or something.
No, man, go stick to acting and commentating, man. Come on.
Yeah. I want to see Tyson in some more. What is them those that show that he was on, that comedy movie? Not the Honeymooners.
When they. When they go to the wedding thing, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
That's all Mike need to be doing, man. He don't need to be getting hit in the head, and he don't need to be biting Evander's ears off anymore.
Nah. You know what I think? I don't. You know why I don't want to see him fight? To be honest with you, I don't want to tarnish my image of their legacy with what I have of them. Okay. I remember when they were gladiators, like back when they was. Yeah. Mike Tyson was knocking out everybody pre-Robin Gibbons. Yeah. And when Holyfield was doing his thing, fighting Riddick Bowe to those epic fights, fighting all of them. The only old man that got in the ring that deserved it was George Foreman. He was a father time in the ring. That was the only guy that I saw that could do it. True. Everybody else, man, past this certain age, man, just I know money's a big deal. Obviously, I mean, if someone was offering me $2 million to get in the ring, I'd get in the ring too. It is what it is because that's a lot of money to pass up on. But these guys' legacy is so strong and so influential. They can make millions of dollars other ways, being spokesmen, doing those kind of things outside the ring and not tarnishing their legacy, I believe. So I don't want to see them fight no more, man. I hope it's off. I hope it stays off. I hope they turn it all the way off. I hope they keep it off, and I hope they they figure out another way to do it. Yeah. I'm ready to see the young cats, the Crawfords and all those guys. Those dudes are the ones I'm ready to see get down and do their thing because they're making a real impact in the boxing world right now. So, I hope they hang it up, brother, man. I don't want to see.
Well, but again, Tyson's talking about he's still got something on the calendar on the slate for May 29th that he's going to be fighting. But
I'm not watching that either. You watching it? Are you going to watch it?
I'm not paying for it. Now, if one of my neighbors or somebody wants to buy it, I'll steal that cable or nothing. But it's interesting that you mentioned about the money because. So Tyson was offered, as you see in the story here, $25 million for the fight.
So, I'm fighting too. Yeah, I would fight.
But he turned it down. Now, I know Mike has gone through a lot. Mike has had bankruptcy. He's had he used to buy stuff like it was going out of style. He'd go out and buy everything cash. He'd have the entourage, and he'd do all of that. And he did some bad things too.
Speaking of, before we pause real quick, you know who took me to a Mike Tyson party?
Who?
Nate Sanders. You know Nate?
No.
Nate Sanders, he's from Sacramento. He's a good friend of me and Kevin's. We went to high school with him. Nate lives in Las Vegas. Nate took me to a Mike Tyson party, man. I was bugging out. Nate took me to a Mike Tyson party. So I met Mike. Before.
Oh, an actual party where Mike was there?
No, his party, his house party. Yeah, we went to his party. I was bugging out. Yeah, we went to Mike's party.
I heard that.
I met Mike there. We met him at the club. Funny story about Mike Tyson. So we're all in the club, right?
Yeah.
Mike Tyson can't dance. He can't dance at all. but he's in the middle of the club and there's a line of women standing in line to dance with him.
Yeah.
And when you're in a club in Vegas, you're real. It's real tight. There's no room because you're always gonna bump into people, right? You constantly because it's real tight. Man, it was about a 6-foot circle around here where nobody was around. And he dancing in the circle by himself because nobody wanted to get bumped by Mike Tyson.
No, they don't want that elbow to come up and hit him.
Nobody wanted that smoke. Nobody wanted that. That was hilarious. But go back. I'm sorry. That was my Mike Tyson story. But
hey, that's cool. So don't trip. So I think my dad has watched it too. So we were actually in Vegas one year, just hanging out. I think it was just a guys trip, and we were there. And it was the night of a Tyson's fight, and they had it was in the MGM. They had the whole line of folks going into where the fight was. Uh-huh. We didn't know what was going on, but we saw a whole bunch of people with fancy clothes on and and things like that. So we left our slot machines. We were chasing Evander White. We were chasing that Wheel of Fortune, right? So we left that. And went and jumped in the line, the entourage line, acting like we were part of the crew, right? Going into the fight. So, we stepped in like we was trying to do something. We got to the door. They was like, y'all got some tickets? Uh-oh. Needless to say, we didn't get into the fight, but for about 100 feet, we was definitely part of the 2 Live crew.
Entourage,
we was part of the 2 Live crew for sure. But that's as close as I've gotten, Tyson. So. I don't know about this one as well. I don't think this has happened. Mike gonna end up getting upset. He gonna have flashbacks. He gonna try to bite Evander's other ear off. It's just not a good look, brother.
It's not a good look. It's not a good look at all, man. I mean, Mike is my all-time favorite boxer because we grew up in that era where he came when he was young. Yeah. But there's I don't want to see Mike. I don't want to see Mike do. I don't want to see all that.
But be honest with you. So we don't want to see it, but if it happens because it's who it is, I want to know the outcome. We're gonna find it.
Yeah, I want to know the outcome for sure. I don't know what watching, but I definitely want to know the outcome.
It's one of them train wrecks, right? You don't want to. I don't want to see it. It's one of them train wrecks that you don't want to see it, but you got to know what the result is. So that's crazy.
Man. Hey, to be honest with you, man, Mike Tyson's hands. I never met a man's hands that big before, bro. Like when he shook my hand, I got pretty big hands. Yeah, dude's hands is like it felt like it wrapped twice around my hand and slapped me in the face all in one. Like, God, dog, this dude's hands is big.
Yo, don't want him to put them on you. Don't want him to
bro. Nah, man. I was like, yo, nice to meet you, Mike.
I'm just thinking of all the Jamie Foxx jokes about Mike Tyson right now.
Oh yeah, and that movie's coming out soon too, right? Is that movie coming out? Didn't Jamie Foxx do it?
Jay Fox is working on that. So Jay Fox, shout out to him. He's doing some big things. He's got his new special on Netflix, and he's shooting the Tyson biography, which is sanctioned by Tyson. So Mike is working with on it too. So we'll look forward to seeing that when it releases. So.
Yeah, man. So he don't need man. Don't get in the ring, Mike. Just let that legacy go on and live, bro.
Just let it go, man. I'm gonna turn this next one over to you, man. Let's go ahead and pivot over to this next story. This is about the NCAA transfer rule, no sit-out period. You brought this to my attention, but I definitely want to hear your context and your commentary about this. Right? Absolutely.
This is huge. I mean, with people that follow sports, I think the old rule was if you transferred, you had to sit out a year in college sports. College sports all the way together. So basically, if I was a player at UCLA and I wanted to transfer over to USC, I would have to sit out a year before I was eligible to play again. That rule no longer exists no more. So now the NCAA has opened it up. It's like free agency. I could be a player at USC. I either don't like what's going on or I'm successful. I want to try myself at Alabama. I can transfer over to Alabama. Don't have to sit out and play again. So this changes the whole landscape, I believe, of college sports. And I think you're seeing it a lot right now on ESPN with basketball. College basketball just ended. There's a lot of players that are moving. They were starting on programs. Now they went to other programs. They don't have to sit out no more. They can just transfer that program and go participate and play. I think this is going to change a lot of the landscape of how college football is being branded. I think the Power Fives are going to get stronger. And Division Ones are going to get stronger because if you are that kid and you haven't developed and you develop in Division Two and you think you want to test the grounds of Division One, you could transfer up one time without having to sit out and go participate and play right now. the one big thing I know of this is going to affect recruiting at some point, because now schools will look at lower level schools to recruit from instead of coming to look at junior colleges and high schools. You got to understand, I can go get me a guy that's in the portal that played at University of Tulsa instead of going to get me a 17-year-old high school kid, and this kid will be able to compete and play right away. So I believe this is going to change the landscape away of college football and the makeup of it. Also, all college sports. I'm sorry, not just football. I always focus on football a lot, but all sports. It will change the landscape the way it is without no sit-out rule. So you could just think NCAA that now college sports have now a free agency market, big time, just like the pros.
Wow. So, do you know of anyone? Because again, you're much closer to the athletes, in this realm and things like. Do you know anyone who's probably contemplating this, considering this? That's going to.
Oh yeah. I'm don't. Yeah. The people are already taking it. There's guys already taking it. I think Boogie Ellison in San Diego. Boogie Ellison, a basketball player that started from Memphis last year, transferred to USC. And he doesn't have to sit out. So he's a guy that started at Memphis. Now he'll be transferred to USC to come a little bit closer to home, playing in the Pac-12. Mm-hmm. Doesn't have to sit out and gets to rock and roll and go. The thing that's wrong with that is the kid that USC was going to bring up, or the guy that was on the bench that was going to play, that no longer happens no more. This guy's coming over, he's taking his slot. So what does that do? The guy that was on the bench that thought he was going to play is probably going to transfer somewhere else. He's going to go somewhere so he can play.
Okay.
It's got a trickle effect that's kind of going on, and let's keep it all the way 100. And I know Po' Boy like this. It's all about money.
Oh yeah.
They want the top players playing on the top teams so they can generate more money on that TV revenue. So if I can get all the best players, if I can get the landscape of all the best players in college from Division I to Division III to come up to play all at the Division I level to elevate our game, why not do it? That guy that was the MVP of that Division III team that just wasn't developed in high school, or we missed out on him, I can pull him now up to Division I and now he can play. He can participate. Or he can become a backup. Or he can be that guy now. I don't have to backfill myself with high school kids waiting 2 years for them to participate. I got a guy that's a grown man already that's been in the system and knows how to play the game. So the dynamic is going to get bigger and more accountable as this rule goes on. And I think you'll see a lot of guys transferring, wanting to play other places and going there.
So it's obviously beneficial for player, right? Because they can make that choice and they can make that move and be able to not skip any, miss any steps and just get back into it. I want to talk about that monetary aspect too, because that's a huge thing. But what's the negative in this though? I'm trying to find out what the negative, besides the fact that again, that person who was sitting on the bench and thinking they were going to be the next one that's coming up and they got to maybe transfer. But where's the negative ramification? Is it for the school? Is it for the program?
I think it's negative for smaller programs because now John Morant, who played in Murray State, right? The basketball player that was drafted. You think the way he was playing in there, he would have been at Murray State for those 3 years? The way he was playing, someone would have poached him, took him somewhere, and now Murray State is back in the tank again or back in the hole where they don't make the tournament because John Morant transferred to Louisville to play for one of those guys. I think it's going to really hurt smaller market schools or schools that are not in the limelight. I think the Power 5 or the guys that are in the top 20, they're always going to benefit because people are going to always want to go to those programs. Even though they were at another program, they're going to always want to go to those programs. Now all the smaller schools, it'll be a less. So I would say the level of talent won't be even. It will never be even anymore. It won't be even no more. It will always, the transparent talent will not be. It won't be spread evenly. It will be spread very skewed now because guys that are very good at different teams will transfer to those other teams because they will poach them. Those schools will poach them. If you're good, Notre Dame wants you, they're going to come get you.
So you see super teams starting to get built, huh?
Yes, absolutely. I see colleges becoming all-star teams now, and whoever got the most money is the ones that can go out got the bigger reach. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. If you're a starting quarterback at UCLA and I want you on Alabama, hey, you're not winning no championships there, but I think if you come over here, we can win a championship, national championship. Would you come to Alabama? I'm going to Alabama. Hey, hell yeah, why not? I'm going to go play for Nick Saban.
Yeah, So I'm sorry. Go ahead, because I want to interject and before I forget it.
No, I was saying, got to also think what coach is getting the most guys to the NFL. Guys are going to want to gravitate to that coach and go play in that team so they can get to the NFL or to the NBA and so on and so on. Go ahead.
So talking about the monetary piece, right? I know there's been conversations about actually compensating these athletes, right? And it's more more serious conversation now about that, compensating players for their likeness, compensating them for their jersey sales, for their being on Madden and all that. I think you're right? The bigger schools, the bigger programs who can afford those kinds of things have a little bit more in their war chest. So maybe even irregardless of the quality of the program, right? So maybe they may not be contenders, but if I could transfer to a Baylor, Syracuse, UCLA, X, Y, and Z, and maybe make some dollars when they get through this conversation for my likeness, for my jersey, for me being on the cover of Madden. That can move some of these players as well.
Yeah, right? I didn't even look at that part.
They don't have to sit out now, right?
Yeah.
I can immediately leave from, no disrespect, Wyoming. I don't know why I thought of Wyoming off the top of my head, but no, just leave from there, leave from Tennessee, Wyoming, wherever, and go to Los Angeles. Go to Massachusetts.
Yeah.
New York.
Well, and you also now you also have to pay attention to coaches' relationships with kids.
Yeah.
Because, hey, I was recruiting you, James, but you decided to go over there. But, it ain't quite working out there. I'm over here. Hey, James, come over here and ball for me now. Come play for me now. Look at where we're in right now. Come play with me. Or do you get to a point where you're like in Michigan? Michigan's always a great program. If you're Jim Harbaugh, who has a lot of influence on a lot of places, Harbaugh has a successful team. Yeah. Can he say, like, now I can go comb any team. I can comb every team that's existing right now. I'm like, let me get all your players and come to Michigan.
Think about that.
Come to Michigan.
Play in the Big Den.
Come play here. Come play in front of 100,000 people right now. I want you. You're the player of the Mountain West. I want you to come play for me now, and you don't have to sit out. So I like it. I like the rule. Me personally, I like the rule because I don't think kids should be shackled to a team, especially if coaches get to leave or it's a situation you don't like. But I don't like the rule is because I believe the guys with money or the schools with money or the schools with a lot of influences can really corner the market of talent and bring guys into their program. And make it and the talent won't be dispersed across the whole field. So, like I said, small schools are going to suffer a lot, I believe. And I hate to mention this school. I hope it doesn't, but Boise State is going to be a team that's probably going to suffer because Boise State is notorious for having top-notch talent. But now when that talent reaches to a certain point, hey, do you want to play in Boise? Do you want to play in LA? Do you want to play in Boise? Do you want to play in Texas? I mean, literally, a coach could call you and be like, where do you want to play? Because I see you as a player, James. You can come over here to Texas. You can be my starting running back next year. So, do you really want to stay in Boise?
That's almost an unfair conversation to have for some of these places just based on geography. I mean, that's just Boise versus Los Angeles. I mean, just again, for all of these teenagers and all these athletes that are saying, you know what, now in today's world, they're building their own brands. They're talking about making money. They're talking about doing their thing. God, they feel they can do so much more at some of those top 10 locations. Man, that's just.
And also, you got to think, what if you're going from a school that's a non-Power 5 to a Power 5 school?
Yeah.
I mean, now the schools, how we have those Cinderella teams every year. Let's say basketball. The Cinderella teams like the Butlers and all those guys that and you got that one player on there, and you're like, man, he can come over here and duke it. He can ball next year. I think he can be my starting guard next year. Butler no longer will have that point guard, and he's going to go to Duke and go play. And like you said, on the flip side of that, he'll make more money for his likeness. He'll make more money for the video games and all that stuff. Stipends will be a little bit better because he's going to a bigger program. All that stuff is included and inclusive for him transferring. So, again, the smaller schools and smaller market schools, I believe, are the ones that are going to suffer the most. I don't think there's going to be a Cinderella team no more. Those things I don't think will happen as much because if I'm a big time program and I'm losing, well, I'm just going to go scour during the carriage and go get all these kids and try to get them to come here. So now I think for schools are recruiting now 24/7, not only high school kids and JC kids, they're recruiting all the other teams as well, players on every other team around the country. That backup D tackle at Alabama who hasn't playing, hey, you know what? But you can come benefit me over at University of Tulsa or Oklahoma State, or you can come benefit me over at Wyoming. So now I know you're not playing there. You can come here play. You'll be a top player on our team. Might be a first round pick or get in the draft because you'll have such a big season with us.
Actually, get yourself some film and some.
Yeah, exactly. You can get on film. So it's going to be a lot of movement. And I think the thing that we got to feel in this COVID thing, the portal.
Yeah.
That's alive and breathing right now. That's it. That's where everything is going to live from now on, because players are going to go on that portal and get swooped on out fast as can be.
Crazy.
And make these teams power. So it's good and bad, man. It's just like free agency when we talk about NBA and NFL. We be like, oh man, he's leaving the program. Oh yeah, well now it's going to start happening in the colleges, and that's indicative of kind of what high school. You know how these kids transfer high schools to go chase rings and do all that stuff. Well, now seeped on over to the college ranks now. Transfer where you want to go play. So it is what it is, man. We're in a whole different era.
Man, it's going to be fun to watch, but I think there's going to have to be some type of I think it's going to get out of hand. Just it's just there's too many positives than negatives, and I think there's going to be some type of oversight board or something to come in and say, maybe you can't do X, Y, and Z when you move over, either for the player or for the program or something, because I don't see any negatives to it. Right. Again, for the individual player. And if they decide to transfer, they decide to move, they decide to do all of that, and immediately next semester they get to play.
Yeah.
There's got to be something that the NCAA has got to step in and say, man, now we got way too many. Everyone wants to go to Los Angeles. No, we can't have that.
Well, but they will be doing it because they got limited spots, right? Because you only got certain players to play on the team, which I get that. But what I'm saying is now, a team like you said, let's use Wyoming for example, or Fresno State. That baller that was in the Mountain West, which is not a Power 5 conference.
Yeah.
I can go poach him and say, now let's go. You play in the Pac-12 because I think you're going to be a valuable player for us. That makes Fresno State drop even more because they're not as good anymore. This player moves on up and plays. Now he's making more money, so it's advantageous for him. It makes that school, it makes that Power 5 remain a Power 5.
I got you.
Because he keeps getting the great players. He keeps poaching these players from all these good programs to make his program good. So it's just a money thing, man. It's money. It's money. Yeah. They want those top schools to continue to be top. And if kids want to continue to go there, let them go there. Why stop them?
We win as fans, so it's all good.
All good. all gravy. All gravy for us, man.
I love it. Talk to me about, let's go ahead and wrap up here. Talk to me about what we got coming up. Hopefully next week. I know you trying to pull some strings. You trying to turn over some rocks to get someone to come in here to talk to us.
I'm trying to get I'm trying to get a good friend of mine, Daunte Lee. He's a writer. He writes for the Big Ten. Freelance writer for the Big Ten. I want to get him in because the draft is coming up next week.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, while our show is going on, the draft will be going on.
Yeah.
I believe the draft will be going on. So I want to kind of get his insight of kind of what he's looking for, what players are looking for, who to look out in the Big Ten. Chris Olave, obviously he opted out. Just talk about those things like Chris Olave, who was going to be a top pick, but he opted to go back in. Talk about Justice Field. Talk about everything that's going on in that Big Ten, and kind of give us perspective on guys that are being picked or have been picked by the time we have our show, and kind of give his perspective on how good they are and how they will fit in there with the new teams. So hopefully Daunte can join. Yeah, I think that'll be a good show. Yeah,
it's a good point. I want. We may need. Let's talk offline. We may want to reschedule the show too, just to make sure we catch all of the context of what's going on, so we can make sure that we position that news.
Yep.
So hopefully, let's work on that. See if we can get that brother to come on and shed some enlightenment from his perspective. Let me ask you one thing. Do you have a you got one of these? You got a buy me a coffee?
Nah, man. You popping up all kind of new things on me, man. What's going on?
I'm not playing, brother. Look, I'm out here trying to get this. I'm trying to get this thing going. I need you to set up a buy me a coffee account. So you can get a little love, a little sponsorship, a little support from your circle.
Got you. I'm on it.
It doesn't cost you anything, and as long as you providing content and information that's relevant to folks, they show you a little love. If you don't drink coffee, it's okay. You can go use the money for a pizza or something. You can go use the money for a milkshake. It doesn't matter. But
we're going to reinvest, man. We're going to put it all in the show. I'm definitely giving me a buymeacoffee.com.
Definitely do that, because I don't want to just, I don't want to be selfish and just be throwing mine up there, and I don't have nothing to show for you. So I definitely want you to go out there. Here's your action items and your deliverables until we meet next time. Go out there and get you
I'm with you on that. I'm definitely with you on that one, man. So we can wrap it on that, man. I'm going to get my Buy Me a Coffee account, and we ready to rock and roll.
Yes, sir. Well, so hold on. So the reason that I say that, because folks that are watching, listening, and even on the after show who are probably going to catch it on the podcast, I really want to take this venture to another level, right? I really think that there's a before show that we talk about between Montel and myself, and where we're hashing about, talking about the topics, make sure that we get the show flowed together. And then I think we should start doing an after show. So off camera, just pull together some folks that are key contributors, key supporters, and just really digest some of the information that we talked about. Look, we talked about the whole Minnesota thing. I mean, there's a lot of still open wounds, scabs, and conversations still need to happen. So we could move over to another room off camera and just have that dialogue and have that conversation. So I'm pitching this to you live on screen on there. We hadn't even talked about it, but then these are the types of things that I think about late in the evening when I should be asleep. But I really want to take this infocast to a whole nother level, to have more dialogue with our audience, to where we can help and we can provide some real value to folks that are tuning in. So. And the Buy Me a Coffee kind of feeds into that, because it's going to be our supporters that are going to have access to that back channel conversation. Right?
I'm all with it, man. I think.
Hey, brother. Can you catch what I'm throwing down?
Man, you pitch it to me and I'm swinging. I'm trying to hit that home run with you, man.
I'm not throwing curves. I'm just throwing change-ups, man. You can hit them. You keep your eyes on the ball.
I believe that's a great idea. I believe me and you both are men that like to listen and take what other people's opinion and digest it and be able to formulate our opinion, whether we changes or not. But just to have that dialogue so we can learn from each other, I'm all for it. On the camera, off the camera, in person, not in person. Buy me a coffee. I'm down. I want to, I'm definitely down, because I truly believe that's just the way we can all learn. And like you said, that's the way we kind of start those conversations about what's going on in our society. And this is outside of sports as well, just what's going on in our society and how it affects us as individuals, then how it expands to our family, to our community, and so on and so on. So I'm all with it.
I got nothing else to say. That's how we going to end. The social impact of sports. Shouts out to Team No Sleep. Montel, be good to yourself, brother.
You too, my brother.
We out.